d'ici là que quand même.
Bienvenue à Queasy, Queasy and Mustache! After a year of causing chaos in lobbies on EU, now they're ready to bring the heat to Lyon on the global stage. It's showtime!
You've had a couple of second places at global championships. How do you make it #1 this time?
That's the goal. I mean, second twice, and if I have these fans and the atmosphere, should make it.
Queasy in first place. Look at this lead, Vivid.
This is the final day of the 2025 Fortnite Global Championship.
In this game, but Mustache, Queasy, and Queasy are just double tarping, making sure to reinforce that they were the team on high ground, but it got stolen away. Up goes Acorn. They're ready to battle it out. M8 versus M8 as Poyo's ready to take on the competition.
Everybody's been chopped up. They're all falling down.
But it's not going to matter. Queasy goes down. Mustache gets the elimination, but he's all by himself live on the low ground. Even with both going down, they got the front side of zone.
Look at this. This lead is not what it once was.
It's these moments where champions are made, right? When things aren't quite going your way, when something happens that you didn't expect. How do you adapt to that? How do you adjust what's been working so well for you to have the courage to say, right, you know what? Let's change up what we're doing. Let's maybe loot in a different area. Let's try and look at other teams from Storm Surge early on because it looked like they were a little bit lower down than we've seen them in previous games.
Yeah, true.
Maybe we change the way that we play our end games. That courage is what makes champions champions.
That first place slot, it's not safe just yet, Queasy.
Anything could happen because that top two started to get uncomfortably close.
Are they going to get second once again?
What I hope is that he's learned.
And we'll see if in these next 3 games he really can solidify himself as the greatest IGL of all time.
But Queasy, Swizzy, and Mustache, they're taking a much more tactical approach. Queasy, the mastermind, you have to
This is a strategy. They know they land OXR. They're waiting on top of the mountain. Finally, they get another opportunity, and it works. Vanya goes down. Mustache, Swizzy, and Queasy are going after second place. I think Marius knows they're running out of HP resources to keep this fight going longer, so they are definitely now officially on the clock this deep in the zone, and it's only the 4th one overall. Mustache has his head on a swivel, continuously turning around, but Taco talked about the double pump, and there it is in action. Marius is able to get the knock onto 1, but he gets dropped to 38 feet. They desperately need the siphon.
Another 3! That's all that they needed! The space has been created, but now they have to capitalize on it. It's one thing to take them out, it's another to keep building on
Maybe they can make
lead.
something happen. As I say, that Queasy actually gets knocked. Now it's going to be all left to Swizzy. Swizzy gets knocked in first, second, third, fourth, all out of the competition.
Queasy, Mustache, and Swizzy versus Vanya, Mustache, and
He's a victim of the lobby now. Swizzy, Queasy, they don't hesitate. They're immediately surging upwards. They know height domination is where the thrill will be tested.
On the high ground right now, they're getting challenged, but they're fighting for it all. It's Pixie, it's Marius, and Vanya. If they want to win, this is the moment right here. Swizzy goes down. It's all or nothing. Down goes PHC, but no! Marius is now down as well. Pixie, with the pressure on his shoulders. You gotta remember though, Queasy is down. They are 50 points shy. He needs to win, but he gets denied. Mustache, Queasy, and Swizzy have done it.
What an impossibly crazy finish. It's Twisted Queasy bringing home the title. Fellas, lift that trophy high.
If it pulls towards the east, that's when they're going to have some troubles.
Take but look at what's happening on height though. Queasy, Mustache, and Swizzy. Can you think of anything different to ever take place in an endgame lobby, Jacob, than seeing Queasy immediately try to challenge and take height for himself? You already already tell. The Gentlemates are going absolutely ballistic right now. Swizzy and Moustache just following through Queasy's commands here out of their IGL, but they've got the entire lobby. He just couldn't break through.
Yeah, Chicho's the one that gets the down, but Kadu's the one that steals away the elimination and getting a lot of loot for their efforts. Queasy trying to do the same thing. Steal whatever is left back from Moustache. And you're seeing there's a decent amount of loot. The Flowberry Fizz, probably the most important part of the entire loadout that he has in that inventory is Benno, Queasy, Vico. They're still down below. They're trying to claim space, and with a minigun, that's just going to be a little bit easier. But with no extra shield, Vico's got to play a little careful here not to take too much damage. Swizzy, Queasy, same thing, but they have multiple splashes. They got the slurp juice. They got the key to success in their inventory.
But they don't have the materials, so that's why Queasy just drops all the way down to ultimate low. They're hoping that they can pick up an elimination or two and then maybe look to try and challenge for a retake on Mario's. Chicho has 0 build left to his name. All of his material count dropped to Tayson. Swizzy still holding his own as well. Deep inside of these ultimate low ground layers, he's looking to try and maybe cut off bolts in the process, but Kanata, Rapid, can the double revive actually be a success? And sure enough, it's a fully intact trio versus the sea of duos. Friesen finds a big elimination onto Swizzy though, and come up with anything. Sure, they managed to dip a little bit into the placement points, but it's just not enough. They've got to go on a massive recovery tour for Game 3. Swizzy, Queasy, and Moustache, though, they've already found their spot in this lobby, and it's straight towards height.
Queasy has one motto: take height, don't get eliminated. And obviously in the first game, they gave it up because they didn't want to go down. This time is their chance. 400 plus damage above the threshold, and it's continuously counting upward, and they pull the zone. That is the biggest difference from game 1 to game 2. They now have the front side, and they have full control. And Queasy trying to fly his way in. He instantly gets knocked down, and now it's up to Pablo, Chino, and they're not immediately trying to drop down low. They're trying to assess the situation and figure out if they can take it.
Chino's been on fire. Pablo, still 3 eliminations too, but 11 elims despite losing for Oxy. This is still a classic scenario even in the lower layers, but they're not going to allow it. Moustache, Swizzy, and Queasy are the real threat right now, though. They just continue to apply steady pressure to those mid layers. It's a big part of the reason why these teams are just getting so picked apart in between.
And you're seeing as soon as they made it inside of the zone, they reconnected, making it that much harder for anybody to take.
Forced to drop another layer. Height's not going to allow them to press forward any longer, and they might just drop directly into Epic Whale's hands.
You're seeing a lot of the damage again. Higgs goes down. Pixie cleans that one up. Queasy gets the knock onto Iyamzo. They're making sure that they make it count, that they got high ground in this game. 5 eliminations, and once again, they're connecting it. They're reinforcing. They're making sure nobody has a chance to contest them on the high ground.
Everybody underneath them is just a victim at this point, Jacob. Marius, Vanya, and Pixie seemingly undiscovered for the time being, though. Kanata and a little spot of trouble here. Just saw him take a massive chunk of his shield. Pixie now looking to play the medkit from the back of zone. Swizzy, though, shutting down Vanya the moment that he tries to push forward. And Moustache directly assisting here. Bolts stuck here, rocking a hard place, and Madi is going to be knocked. Marius eliminated, essentially. There's no way his teammates are going to be able to get to him.
Yeah, and you're also seeing Kanata fall, Rapid down. Not sure about both, but things are going sideways very quickly, and it gets even more worse because the zone is pulling over that mountain. If you didn't prepare for it, it's going to be lights out, but Swizzy trying to stop Slurp Juice. He's going to be the first one that does go down. But Moustache, Queasy, that's a huge signal. That's a huge sign. They're trying to get away from this catalyst on the low ground.
But Queasy and Moustache are the only ones that made it to the mountaintop, and Queasy, it is just raining down from above. Queasy continuing to find those eliminations. Pump gonna be dropped. It's only Baka and Yetko, and Panzer's been eliminated too. Queasy and Moustache away with it. No one left to challenge them. Kings of the mountain.
If you were to ask anybody, who do you think is gonna win? M8 is all what the crowd wants to see. And now 2 of their favorite players in the world just picked up a Game 2 victory royale. Just lighting up the arena as we speak, and you're seeing the looks.
You have made the Gentlemates more happy than they have ever been here in Lyon. What's it like to take the 2nd victory royale here?
I mean, it's nice, feeling nice. I want to win more games. We're going to win more games. And they're going to scream more louder with every game.
I think they will. Queasy, it felt like in game one, you tried to take the high ground maybe a bit too early. You couldn't hold it. This time round, there were no mistakes. How did you make sure the plan went flawlessly?
I mean, it's never too early. Like, even first game, if we got some lucky pulls, we could have had it. 4 pulls we had. And then they pulled over the water and was kind of unlucky we couldn't get it. But game 2, we got some favors in our way, and that's it.
You don't need luck to win this, Queasy.
What's the plan now for the next games?
Keep going high and playing our game, that's it.
Are you ready, guys? Gentle! Gentle!
Very good. Very, very good indeed. One more time, though. Gentle, gentle, gentle!
In the mud right now, having to figure out where they're going to go because Zone is slightly moving up over that mountain. They realize no other team is in their path. It's now or never.
But the problem is they've got Swizzy, Queasy, and Moustache on height, beaming everybody underneath them. These guys are applying so much steady and consistent pressure that nobody's having a chance to look up just yet. They've spotted out a team tunneling through. It's Malibuka and Walks trying to see if they can break through from that secondary height position, but with Queasy now overtaking the front side, overtaking front side height. Now everybody else stuck underneath. This is everything for Queasy, Moustache, and Swizzy.
And just in the back pocket, you see 6 flashes, the exotic Slapberry Fizz, which heals HP, a just in case, but up goes Pixie. They're trying to go for that opportunity, but Mario says, no, 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 we need to disengage. We cannot go for it, at least not right now, but he's taking so much damage on his way down. But Swizzy distracted for a short moment. A lot of his shields go out the window. Luckily for him, his entire trio is still there. 2,000 damage above the threshold. They won last game with 12 eliminations, and they're well on their way to do it again.
And that's the problem for everybody else in this lobby, is that Queasy, he is just tarping fully unleashed. Nobody there to stop his path. 2 of them, the best fraggers in the world by his side. And Kanata, he...
Yeah, I'm 100 mats, 100 mats. I'm below. Take. On me. Shove as well. I'm playing zone. Yeah, chugging, go. Go up. I'm fire. He's here. Yeah. Drag. Nice. Nice. Yeah, zero mats. I have 3 pills. I have 5 shots. Yeah, drop. I see solo. Yeah. Dead. Nice. 100. I'm dropping down. I'm 1 spear. 100. Dead. 100. That's at 2. 1 spear. Nice.
It is all Queasy, Moustache, and Swizzy for a Game 3 victory royale.
It's only taken 3 games to get our first team with not only multiple victory royales, but the back-to-back 12 eliminations in that last game. More than that in this game. We are looking what could possibly be a great team in the making. Frankie, don't you agree?
I really do agree. The fans in Leon again going absolutely wild for this team. Queasy coming into the Global Championships. They said that this competition was going to be owned by North America, but right now it's being owned by the High Ground Kings. How was that game? Just a complete repeat of the second.
I mean, we're just playing our game, that's it. Just playing end game, playing height, and that's it. Nothing more.
But why isn't anyone able to challenge you for that height right now? We've got huge names. In fact, in that last game, all of our top 5 trios made it to the end game, but you still came out on top.
I mean, I feel like it's the hardest of the hardest. It's hard to have a good mid game. A lot of teams are contested, so just hope we stay uncontested and we'll probably win.
You mentioned being uncontested. You may regret that. Benji, à toi.
Yeah, Swizzy. Man, 3 games, 2 victory royale. What's your secret, guys?
Take height, don't die. Gentle. That's it. Gentle.
Thank you, guys.
Moustache, What an incredible global championships for you so far. Is it all about the calls that this man is making, or is it all the chants that the M8 fans are making?
It's everything. Queasy, IGL Gold, fans crazy, just best fans ever. Can't ask for better fans.
My oh my, it happened. It happened, the back-to-back from a Queasy, Swizzy, and Merstash. Back-to-back victory royales. We like to joke about it a lot, but EU still doesn't have a global championship title. And Queasy said, I'm gonna make that change. And you know, it's funny too, because Swizzy said the most famous Queasy quote of all time, take height, don't die. Guys, take height, don't die. That's what I'm talking about.
I mean, Z, Kelly, it just looks so easy right now. They're getting everything they want. I mean, Queasy pretty much said, he was like, hey, listen, we're just playing our game right now, and it is working to perfection. I mean, you just take a look at them, right? They're sitting up there, no worry in the world. They do such a good job at applying pressure to exactly the right teams, right? Keeping an eye on not only the second height team to make sure, of course, you know, the most likely team to go ahead and try to pressure them off the height, always keeping a close eye on them. But one thing that I always notice when we kind of tune into like Swizzy's POV is that he is so keen to look like back in the storm and make sure nobody's going to come up behind them and make some sort of sneak play.
They are just so aware of everything that is going on around them. And you know, you say take height, don't die. Usually when a team has height so dominantly, a lot of other players will just kind of leave them alone, focus on the low and mid ground. Yeah. But that is not the case for this trio. Both games now that they have won from height, someone has tried to steal it away from them. And that actually was one of the closest height steals we've seen between the two games. Vanya and Pixie actually being able to build over them. But Queasy, Merstash, and Swizzy were able to easily recover from that and then take height once again.
It just looks so clean, man. And it's crazy too, right? Game 2, 12 elimination victory royale. Game 3, you know what? We'll get another victory royale. Let's just toss a few more. Sprinkle on some eliminations on top. My gosh. And of course, once again, Queasy still 100% locked in. Let's take a look. They are starting to pull away with a lead, and this is just the halfway point of day number 1.
What? 300 points, basically? They have established a 122-point lead just after game number 3. I mean, yeah, I guess that's what a back-to-back win will do.
Elimination of the game.
All the way hanging back now. So much pressure being applied to this top section of Foxy Floodgate. But they are right back at home. Queasy, Merstash, and Swizzy looking to control the dam, and that's the most important part of Foxy Floodgate. If you have the dam control, you have all of height.
Yep, top 17 though, this is where placement points are going to start to set in and cascade further with each and every team that does get wiped off the lobby. Merstash, Queasy, Swizzy, they are not backing down, they are not shaking, they're just terrorizing everybody around the lobby. Par's really feeling the pain there, and that's because they have that bird's eye view. Nobody is contesting Swizzy, Queasy, and Merstash on the high ground, and look exactly what's happening because of it.
There needs to be studies done on Queasy's brain because this position is absolutely unreal. Mr. Savage, Jap, trying to do what they can to push back against Swizzy's pressure, but it's just so difficult to try and take those bloom battles from overhead, Jacob. This is so much leverage over the rest of the lobby, and Swizzy now trying to make sure that he doesn't find himself eating more damage than what he bargained for, but still he has Merstash to depend on. The moment that Swizzy's shields get cracked, he falls back, and Merstash immediately picks up the slack. Pulling into, that's just open season now for Queasy, Swizzy, and Merstash.
Savage team 2 points away from hitting that top 5. And the thing is, they were 1 point away, almost missing the Major 3 Grand Finals. They were 2 points in that last spot to secure the global spot. A miracle run is coming out as Queasy, once again, almost 2,000 damage, back-to-back games above the threshold. Yapko, fans are setting, they're feeling the pressure from up above. You see a huge lack of not only materials, but resources as well as he gets cut short. The wall breaks him off, he's gonna go down, but for Yapko and Seti, this is everything.
They're still trying to see what kind of placement points they might be able to collect. Every little bit counts for that team, but Vanya, secondary height, Cammy, Hottie, and Eyedrop, they've also been rather quiet throughout today, Jacob, but that could change in an instant. Mr. Savage, Reason, and Chap now trying to make sure that their back tarp is fully closed off, but Savage not having the opportunity yet to keep building through. Chap picking up where his IGL left off. That is always what you would hope for in a team. Iyamzo is sadly going to have to play it through with just Higgs, though. And this is a tough spot to be in, unless Higgs finds a big elimination for the refresh.
That was not only points for the elimination, but placement points as well, as the full trio's wiped off the map. Acorn, Savage, King, Tayson, all going down. Yamso as well. A good shot being landed, but not good enough. He gets steamrolled by Darm. Marius is the one who took down Poyo. Him and Vanya are feeling the pain as well, because they have to do it without Pixie.
But they've at least got frontside low control, and that's gonna have to be enough. They're gonna need as many eliminations as possible because they need more materials, and we haven't even started the conversation of how to deal with Queasy, Swizzy, and Mustache up above everybody else in this lobby looking substantially healthier too.
I feel like I've seen this episode of Fortnite before. Game 2, Game 3, and it's looking like it could be possible for Game 4. 370 points and counting. Only 2 teams in front of him, both of them weak. Vanya trying to do what he can, but he only has one teammate, Marius as well, with the full trio up above. They get the wipe onto one. They're looking to close this one out as well. Marius in his line of sight, but Swizzy, he takes a big shot. That's a surprise attack, but luckily for him, his 2 teammates have his back. Mustache gets the drop on the Marius, stays alive. They're targeting out Vanya. 3v1 situation, and they go back to back to back to win another game.
When have you ever seen on the global stage the trip skis of victory royales? Queasy, Swizzy, and Mustache are setting a new precedent here in the 2025 Globals performance, Jacob. This is insanity what we are witnessing right now, and they deserve all of the credit. But Frankie, let me know what else they have to say.
Incroyable, Leon! Swizzy, please stand up. Can you believe this is happening?
Yeah, I knew we were gonna win.
You knew it. You are playing like you knew it too. Queasy, you've been to so many of these events, but I don't think this has ever happened to you. Back to back to back. Surely you can't believe what's happening right now.
I mean, I can. We practice a lot. So just lucky it's paying off right now. We need to just keep playing and hopefully we'll win.
It's been really interesting to also see what's happening with the North American teams. On the analyst desk, they were talking about the fact that in North America, the top teams are conditioning the lobby all the way through the season, but that's not happening on Globals. Is it simply a case of not fearing the competition, not believing their hype?
I mean, we're just playing our play style. There's like nothing, like we're not gonna play low ground if we don't know how to play low ground. So we're just staying on high and playing that, you know.
Actually, you did well for 3 games, for your team, but also for the crowd. Are you proud of that?
Yeah, I'm so proud. I'm proud of my fans, I'm proud of my teammates, like, they're crazy.
And for you, will you keep the high ground for the next 9 games again?
I mean, the strat is take high, don't die. That's it.
Thank you.
Leon, one more time, please show your appreciation for Queasy, Swizzy, and Mustache! We are heading to a break. We'll be back with games.
Uncontested area of the zone. Still need to be wary though. Are catching glimpses of Kanata, Bolt, and Rapid in the distance. And of course, Swizzy, Queasy, and Mustache steadily starting to scale their way up towards an elevated position, but there's several other teams nearby that have the same intentions.
Yeah, if you guys see multiple teams in the distance, Thunderbolt striking down, that Storm Surge, even though Swizzy, Queasy, Mustache don't exactly know those teams are below it, they will hear the shields crack. King's gonna go down, but Poyo is the one that's potentially stealing away those points. and maybe even the loot as it fully gets cleaned up. Swizzy, Queasy, Mustache put the full target down on a PH-in. He's just trying to get some of that loot from his fallen comrade.
Do Swizzy and Mustache ever miss?
No.
The answer's gonna be no. Okay,
No.
PH-in eliminated. Mustache with another one. But that's actually gonna be the first one of this lobby. They've just been collecting so many eliminations throughout today's lobbies, Jacob. It's almost crazy to think that that's their first, but Queasy could be in trouble. Does manage to break away from where Bolt's wrapped, a little bit away from those mountain faces. So as a duo, they can still look to break through the low ground. But Queasy, Mustache, Swizzy, Gentlemate's going absolutely ballistic in this audience right now. And for good reason. Mustache said it. We're just gonna keep winning. And they've got 3 already at the international level, Jacob. A land historic event, and they're still looking to see if they can get more.
We are literally watching the Queasy legacy in the making. Levin said it himself. The last time Queasy won 3 games in a row, he went on not only to win that major, but win 6 out of 12 games. Something that has never been done on that region of EU ever before and ever again. And this could be that moment in history that you look back at when you talk about how great Queasy actually is. It is all because of this, but there's still so many threats in their path. They just have to look up. They have to try to go for high ground and stop the plate trade. Clicks, Higgs, and Yamzo, they have been known to do it on NA Central. They just have to figure out how to do it here on the international stage.
And they might have to deal with...
But it's not ready to go for it just yet, and nobody has even had an opportunity to look up. They're attached at the backside of zone. They're attached right in the middle. It's not even going to be easy when somebody eventually does.
But that's the problem. Nobody else can actually make their way up towards the high ground because Swizzy, Queasy, and Mustache refuse to budge. They just keep shutting down every single opportunity, forcing these teams to converge onto each other as iDrop now trying to see if he can collect an elimination there, a knock, anything. He needs a massive refresh.
More to work with.
But the control from Queasy, Swizzy, and Mustache on the high ground, Jacob, they're forcing all of these teams to swap layers to ultimate low. And with that in mind, Mustache, Queasy, Swizzy, just non-stop berating. These teams are forced. They're looking up, they're looking down. They're trying to find refreshes, but they have no breathing room. They are being suffocated right now by height.
With the conversations going on before the Global Championship, Boo probably smiling ear to ear right now with EU doing the performance that they are, but Canada Bolts, they're trying to channel how they played in game number 1, finds a key elimination on Reed, not just elimination points, but placements as well. Cammy falls, more points from the lobby. Swizzy's trying to drop down low, he's just getting loot, he's bringing it back up to his IGL.
And that is all Swizzy has to keep tabs on alongside Mustache. Everything getting dropped at Queasy's feet so he can have the ultimate success here. But Marius, he's in too much trouble. Marius trying to squeeze away. It's Vico, it's Veno, and Flixie chasing them down. They know that they're going to have to clear out all of these players inside of these lower layers if they want a real shot at beating Queasy up on height.
Yeah, if there's any team that I think has a chance to look up and at least give them a fight, it is going to be them, as Marius is forced outside of the zone, almost a 1v1 against Clicks, and Clicks gets the knock. Can he get the elimination? No, he can't. No Siphon for him, but the battle, the inevitability is finally here. Vico's taking charge, but he's also taking most of that damage. Flixie's forced to reload, and Veno is in that mid-cut as well, a challenge that they did not find success on, but relatively so. Even if they might not have the high ground, they put Queasy and Mustache on the back foot.
And that's the problem, Queasy, Mustache. They could still tank a little bit of zone here just because of that exotic fizz, but at the same time, Vico, Veno, Flixie, they're now trying to remind everybody this might be Queasy's tourney so far, but we still want to take the first Mustache! Mustache finding the biggest elimination on the Veno, the Siphon carrying him forward, the hopes of Gentleman now resting on his shoulders. Flixie trying to hang, but Flixie wins it all, shutting down the dream here for Queasy. Veno saying it all, anything you can do, I can do better.
We talked about the 6 of 12. It was with that man right there, Veno.
It would have been insane. The fact that they placed second, though, is still amazing, right? Like, you cannot deny. But of course, if they had won the game, it just would have been just the tiniest bit better. My gosh, Queasy, Mustache, Swizzy popping off here. 461 points, if I remember correctly. These guys are on fire, Mini.
Yeah.
I don't know how we stop them.
I mean, honestly, they were set up for success this entire end game. They really did well to claim that high ground like we expected them to do, going towards the zone. They had a nice favorable pull, of course, over to that hill. And then when Queasy actually built out into the zone, which I thought was a really nice play, if zone was to pull over that hill, it ended up pulling the other way. So they did, of course, have to invest a lot of materials, which is why they ended up going down a little bit earlier here. But, I mean, what a clutch here from Mustache. What could have been, Levin?
I mean, look, I low-key do wish we were in the alternate universe where he wins that. Because there is one, right?
Yeah.
He's so close. It comes down to just the difference between a little bit of damage. Regardless of that, though, right? Still a fantastic game to help them keep their lead, keep momentum, right? Because the worst thing you can have in a situation like this, and, you know, speaking of Queasy when he won 6 out of 12, it almost sort of did happen where after they had won, like, the 6th game, you know, they're almost like, everything's won. We've won it. You know, they have a bit of a mediocre game, and, like, the momentum's lost. But it's fine. We've won the tournament. These guys haven't won the tournament yet. They need to keep that momentum. That's still a great game.
That's right, man. One game left to go before we say goodbye for the first half of the day of the competition. You heard that sound. The battle bus is ready. Let's get into it.
Swizzy as possible so we have a chance tomorrow.
Oh, I'm glad you mentioned Queasy, Swizzy, and Mustache, Jacob, because while they're here tackling Brazil, PH, Zen, Phaser already knocked. That's going to be the eliminations there. Excuse me, that's going to be King instead, but Jacob, so much damage having been done there. And Queasy now on the back foot. He's actually going to have to depend on Mustache and Swizzy to close this one out because Chino, Prodoxy, Pablo, they've now entered this battlefield. And Prodoxy, he doesn't seem interested in leaving anytime soon.
This is a blessing. This is a blessing for the entirety of the lobby, not just for Doxy, Pablo, and Chino here in this situation. You take them down, and I like taking matters into your own hands because 4th place, 1st place, 1st place, 1st place, 2nd place for Queasy and them at the top of the leaderboard. You cannot expect them to go down early. Sometimes you have to do things yourself. Phaser might not even know that there's a whole trio up above, but he might not have the HP. Storm Sickness is a possibility. He might have no other choice but to move into this trio. Even though they're at the top of the leaderboard, they've taken more damage than they've dealt. But that just goes to show, like, how risky they're willing to play in order to get those eliminations, in order to be able to stay alive and build up that Storm Surge. As I see Art taking out Alex, Anon's gonna get taken down by School. Not sure if OCE is still alive, but NA West trying to bring themselves back into this. And just by the looks of it, Zone pulling so far away. Queasy, Swizzy, they realize there's no chance to get Mustache back into the game, so we have to make our numbers count.
But without Mustache, Queasy recognizes, hey, I'm gonna have to shift into gear and bring to light what kind of fragging capability I might actually be able to unleash. Prodoxy on the other end, he's actually got a glimpse of Queasy up in the skies. Queasy, having been spotted out, he knows this is trouble. We've got to start maybe working our way down. This is not the spot to be, but Chino, Pablo, Prodoxy, they don't care. They're looking to fully collapse. They see that Queasy is weakened, and they've actually completely overthrown the ultimate high ground position. But the fact that Queasy and Swizzy are still alive, Jacob, it's still the potential for placement points to keep building.
Yeah, this is on the most part. And you see Pablo right now, he's the one building their top on over because he has the double pump. Letting his teammates put pressure down from above is a huge part of their game plan. As they're 257 above, Swizzy, he has taken down Peterbot, their 3rd elimination of the game, and they're cruising inside of the top 12. This is what I'm talking about. You cannot expect this team to just go down without a fight.
It's the boost of materials that they have to work with too. Yapko recognizing directly overhead. He doesn't have an opportunity here. Wixie on the other end of his wall. Yapko going to be forced to layer swap here. He is dropping to ultimate low, but he has hardly anything left to work with here, Jacob. Backside of zone. Anyone, it might just be Ping who comes up upon Yapko, but instead it's gonna be Marius, Pixie, Vanya. Now looking to play spoiler to these teams in the mid-ground. Marius just continue to tear away at everybody's HP.
He has that double pump and he's putting it to use. Storm is down in the outside of the zone. Marius is gonna clean that one up. Couple more points push them further and further closer to Queasy, who's still alive, by the way. Yapko is solo. He's just trying to get the most out of this as possible. Only 5 on the med miss, no extra builds, scrambling around, trying to catch somebody off guard, but it's he who falls to Pixie.
Chino, Pablo, and Prodoxy still in the high ground. Swizzy and Queasy now working through ultimate low. This is a night and day difference for loadouts, but Swizzy still trying to bring it all together. He only has 5 builds, but he has to take a chance to heal, and Queasy picks it up where he left off. Eliminations onto Tisco now means that Queasy has some material to work with, and Marius, he's torping his way through, but he might just run smack dab center into where Queasy is at, not to mention Proxy, Pablo, Chino overhead.
This is a good moment for all the players down low. They're distracted up above, but not too distracted. They drop down. Surprise attack coming from above. Down goes Queasy. Pixie's gonna follow as well. Vanya's now by himself. He gets taken down by Chino. Pablo.
Right now to get his thoughts after the first 6 games.
The king of the high ground has joined me and Choco back in the player lounge. Queasy, last year it was day 2 where you had to make up the shortfall, but on day 1 you're sitting clear at the top of the leaderboard by 101 points. The question is, can you keep this up?
I hope so. I mean, I think we're gonna change a lot of stuff for day 2, make sure our plans are perfect for like any sneak attempts and stuff like that. And we'll see tomorrow.
So the changes is not because the current game plan isn't working, it's because of the fact that now you know that there's a target on your back.
Yeah, I think so. But like, I mean, I feel like we're so far ahead that if people are like actually trying to land on us and do stuff like that, they're just like griefing themselves more than us. Because I don't know.
Well, we haven't seen you contested yet.
Yeah, we haven't.
We will see.
We've seen the Major 2 and Major 3.
We have, but not on LAN. Choco à toi.
And so you'll change maybe few things, but are you confident for tomorrow that you'll keep your consistency during the games?
If we play our early and mid game the same, yeah, easily.
All right, so for you, confidence is a key, or it's more training?
I mean, it's all practice. Practice makes perfect.
Looking at the lobby so far, who do you think is potentially going to be a threat, and who do you think could try and sneak attack you tomorrow?
I don't know, half the lobby, but we'll see, I guess. I don't know. I guess going into it, I thought it was Vanya, but they're kind of like staying on low ground, so I think we're fine.
Yeah, last year they were all about the high ground, but now they'll take what they can get, and they are coming up behind you, so we'll see tomorrow. Queasy, congratulations. Let's head back to the desk to close out day 1.
In first place, look at this lead, Vivid. This is exactly where we want to start day number 2.
I don't know where else you would want to start, right? I mean, it could be close, but nah, they were like, why don't we just keep winning those games? So close to getting 4 victory royales yesterday as well. It's just a straight up dominant performance from the trio.
We have 6 games today. Maybe we can try and push out another 3, get 6 wins on LAN. And I mean, again, the fact that they have 3 victory royales on LAN environment back to back is insane.
You know, I mean, obviously, it's very, very easy for us to talk about the victory royales. But look at the other games there, Manny, right? Yeah. This Raph does a great job of showing off just how well they played in every single game.
Yeah, something I spoke about at the end of the day yesterday. The games that they're having when they're not winning are still absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Especially that last game as well, the way that it was Queasy and Swizzy were able to sort of clutch up, find all those eliminations, find all those placements. As a duo, just gives this team so much firepower. No matter what happens, they always seem to make it work. And the way that they talk in interviews, the way that Queasy talks, so confident, so calm. Let's hope they can bring that into today.
Let's take a look at some of the damage numbers from the trio. We took a look and broke kind of things down. Looking at them, looking at everybody else. So let's take a look. Yeah, Merstash, okay, all right, 3K damage. Swizzy, 2.2. I mean, guys, they're leading the pack.
Ooh la la, it's Queasy, Queasy, and Merstash. Their gameplay said everything, while their results wrote a new chapter in Fortnite history. This is your moment, so take it.
And even one more team going down, he'll start to get placement points on top.
problem as a solo, though, is that there's only so many directions you can look at once, and overhead, Swizzy, Merstash, Queasy, they're already starting to break through. You saw that first knock take place right now for Swizzy, and he's still after another Ritual and Peterbot. They don't even realize they're being chopped from underneath, but it's actually Sphinx who's taking down Peterbot in this lobby. Shadow from behind, never sees it coming. Swizzy's got that elimination, and Muzz trying to save his teammate's life, but can the double revive actually come to fruition with Swizzy applying so much pressure?
Yeah, multiple players, and he has that exotic, which is so much damage, just tearing through those builds. But you can see it, Sony was the zone, pulled on over, they kind of brought themselves back. Probably Queasy making the call. We have to start to rotate. This zone is vital for our success. If we can get
Stop, especially with Queasy, Swizzy and Merstash right back at home base on the high ground.
That happened so fast, you blink, you might have missed it, because now there's a whole nother team on top. They're getting battled out, chopped down even once, but the consistency for them to remain in the clouds is absolutely amazing. Swizzy, Merstash, and Queasy making it look easy down below. Everybody is at their disposal, and this is where we know what they do. They are trying to look up. At one point or another, maybe 2 zones ago, they were the team on high ground, but it got stolen away. Oppos Acorn, they're ready to battle it out. M8 versus M8 as Poyo's ready to take on the competition, but towards the backside of zone, they chop it all down. Queasy, he saw that one coming from a mile away.
That's exactly why they had Merstash overhead, still looking to try and build things out here, but Swizzy blocking off Acorn so professionally. Everybody's been chopped though. They're all falling down. Agers has been eliminated. Poyo and Acorn trying to go right back up on the height, but it's Malabuka, it's Lux, it's Ping. They're the ones that have fully overthrown the high ground. They're the ones that are ready to find their first victory royale.
Merstash, Queasy still as a duo, but they're still holding that first place spot. Kanata is going to go down. Only 3 of the teams in our top 5 still alive. Merstash, Queasy, they're trying to be heroes, but Queasy not only takes a big shot, he loses Swizzy across the way. Merstash has to figure out a way to reunite into the same box. They do that very, very quickly, but it's not going to matter. Queasy goes down. Merstash gets the elimination, but he's all by himself.
The family sacrifice might have been everything that they needed, though. Merstash tarping like a madman, just trying to block off every possible angle. He knows there might be an opening, a teammate underneath that's just so much worse off than he currently is. But instead, it's both Kanata and Rapid. He's looking to play spoiler, but he can't get enough damage applied. Merstash still somehow, some way, tarping through this middle layer, and nobody seems to be cutting him off just yet, but he's running out of material, and Malabuka watched him overhead. They've lost Ping. Ping thought that he could take out Darm in the process. Instead, he loses his own life.
Somehow, Rapid, Kanata, Bolts all still alive on the low ground. Even with Bolts going down, they got the front side of zone and a chance to get the revive.
570 points. Oh man, I mean, look, we still got a lot to do if we're hoping to catch Queasy.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you're talking about it. The lead isn't what it once was, but it like barely moved. I'm pretty sure. 170 points, still very, very comfortable for them. And this is kind of what Mini was talking about as we were watching the game, because he was like, yeah, I mean, you know, they're down, still potential for Merstash to go ahead and solo clutch, but this is kind of the exact game they need. They don't need to soar ahead. They just kind of need to pick up enough points to kind of fend off the competition.
Yeah, this is technically their worst game of the weekend, right? I think they got a 7th in this game, but still, I know. Oh no, want to wrap it up. But still, it's still a good game. They made it to end game. They took height. They did what they know how to do. Again, unfortunate, as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, day 2, people are going to go for height, so things are going to look a lot different. Maybe that's now an adjustment to their playstyle. They might need to think, oh, maybe we need to go down, play mid-ground a little bit more, but it's not bad for them. They're still getting points. They're still clutching when it matters.
The result won't show it, but I just cannot believe how quick and decisive this team can like switch strategy on a dime. We saw them on the higher ground, right? Acorn's trio, they crash padded up. They were instantly fighting for it.
Yep.
And I swear it was within literally.
Watch our height. He's left tonight now. Wait, take it, maybe take it. I'm on no. I have it, 100. I have it. Coming. I'm up. I'm connecting. Yeah, I think. I went down. I'm gonna chop now. You got time. Chop it now. Chop. I'm coming back. I'm dead, I think. You got chopped again, fine. Good. Can you come to me? One time, go high. Okay. I'm up. Did you guys get it? I'm saying, you can save me, no? Nice. Can you save me? Can you take it? I got rest. Drop your way. Calm down. And stand still, guys. Stand still. I have sickness. Go, okay. Go. I'm dead. You good? Can you? I don't care. I'm 5 times food. I'm charging. Yeah. Let's chill. Get it. Go up one. Wow.
Already established themselves. They've got to be careful of not getting chopped out.
Pixie, Darm, Demas, waiting till the last second, crash pad into the front side of zone. Swizzy, Mustache, Queasy, they have the materials. They did not play for the high ground. They're okay being down low in the dirt. They know they're the most dangerous team at this event, especially if you run into them. Kanata bolts, rapid, scrambling around, trying to heal up. The splash is coming out, but that's the last of the white heals that Kanata has in his inventory. Up above, there's a team trying to put pressure down. You see them scrambling and forcing them to split up momentarily.
The respect, though, from Queasy to still make the commitment towards the low ground. Meanwhile, Bolts, Kanata, Rapid, just doing everything they can to try and keep themselves up and in the running here. But Aja, Cammy, they're still looking to break through. They recognize there's an opportunity here. There's a team that might be weak, but they're shooting into a box that nobody's even inside.
Zone's put into the south. They got lots to figure out. Swizzy, Queasy now as a duo. We've seen them dominate from the skies. But how good can you guys take it? Swizzy wants it, looks to chop. Pixie, Marius, Vanya. They've held on well for now, but this is the hard part. Can they continue to hold on as the 11th zone ends?
See the double pump coming out from Marius. That's not going to deal a ton of damage or even pressure. Marius is dropping down along with Pixie, staying to the backside of zone. They're making sure nobody can flank him as Bolts takes down Cammy. He is a solo champion on land before, and third parties is looking to have a masterclass performance here. 600 points. Swizzy is just trying to keep them going across that finish line, scrambling in and outside of the zone. The slurp juice just a little too late.
He just can't do it. Storm sickness coming into effect. They spent so much time outside of the...
You get straight eliminated. Crash pad, Flowberry Fizz, they're doing what they can to rotate towards the zone, but it's Queasy, it's Quizzy, it's Mustache on the other side. M8 versus M8. Malibuka has no choice. 128 below the damage threshold. Queasy down, Swizzy, a sliver of HP. It's all up to Mustache.
But Mustache knows how to play it through as a solo. He can maybe clutch up big time here. He just needs a few more placements to continue extending. In first place, Malibuka walks Ping still underneath that surge threshold. They're trying, they're so desperate. Everybody around them knows it too. They're not trying to allow the opportunity to let these guys break through their builds. But Mustache as a solo, what more could you possibly do? He's still buying points. He just needs players to fall around him.
Chance for them, and this is a big chance because we're still into the top 15. They have no eliminations for Mustache, Swizzy, and Queasy. They only have 2 placements versus placement points. This is how you close the gap.
They're certain to have seen what that elimination feed looks like, though, but Demas, Darm, Pix, seeing them control the low ground comes as no real surprise, but they know they've got to keep a hold of that front side. They're immediately going to start making their way towards it. But they still got to be careful. Height overhead. Mustache is a solo. He'll be forced to drop to ultimate low. Malibuka creeping directly underneath him. But Mustache, he doesn't realize it. He only has 6 builds. He's trying to conserve as much as he possibly can. He's just so quiet in the background.
Yeah, he's kind of waiting, pressuring over and over and over, whether it's an AR, the double pump. They're not letting any team look up.
It's an issue, though. Anon, Alex resigns from the low ground. They might be able to pick off Yuma, but they got to worry about Pixstar and Demas, who've essentially cut them off. They've completely... What more can he do? He has to stay hidden. He has to conceal himself at the backside of his zone. Mustache, he's lost his IGL. He's lost his other fragger. It's Poyo, who's taken out his fellow gentlemate. Swizzy eliminated. Ager's gonna come at a cost, but the double revive, they might be able to pull it off. They're gonna drop everything he can to make the impossible happen. But Marius, Pixie, Vanya, they're just so healthy overhead. Darm is gonna meet his demise at the hands of Mustache, but Mustache, just not enough gas left in the tank. me through. The frustration is felt. So many placement points lost.
A ton of placement points lost. They got around the top 15. It is wide open.
And that was it right there. But if we're talking about moments, we got to talk about our top 3. None of them shifting in the leaderboard right now. But what did shift, Zeke, is that lead. Look at it, first and second place. It is barely 30 points separating them.
How did we get to this point, man? We were leading by 150 points, and now we find ourselves with only a 30-point lead. Mini, it's not enough. But right now as well, let's take a look there at Pixie and Marius and Vanya. What's crazy too is like these guys had high ground, they get chopped, and like at that moment your heart's got to sink, right?
Yeah.
This is like a major. You think that's it? They instantly recover, right?
Yeah.
They're falling mid-air and throw a crash pad down, and that's what saves their life. Jump back up, take back over, and though they didn't win the game, they still placed second. They didn't get a ton of eliminations, but those placement points and that minigun mini, they go burr.
Yeah, they definitely do. And this is the Vanya Pixie Marius that we know and love here on, or over on EU.
Aggressive plays. We've obviously been able to take a look at a couple of them, but if you look in the top left, the player count right now, 59. This lobby is getting destroyed by aggression right now.
These guys are crashing on each other is what that tells me, Vivid. But Queasy, Swizzy, and Merstash, they're taking a much more tactical approach. Queasy, the mastermind, you have to remember, back at the Invitational in 2022, he was the one that made the decision. I want to land on them. I want to challenge it, and it's not as direct, but it's still there.
Jacob, this is a strategy. They know they land OXR. They're waiting on top of the mountain. They want to rain down the shots as they fly through the sky.
They crack the shields on the one. There's just so much distance before he reaches the ground. He's out of render distance overall. Instantly comes the crash pad. Merstash, Queasy, Swizzy, they're trying to rotate in that direction. Finally, they get another opportunity, and it works! Vanya goes down! Merstash, Swizzy, and Queasy are going after second place.
But what's going to be there faster? The double revive or Swizzy, Merstash, and Queasy. They're doing everything they can to try and collapse onto this position. Vanya's already been back up into the running, but they're going all in here. Swizzy, Queasy, Merstash, they're looking to control their own destiny. They want to take down Vanya. They want to make it so that game 12 isn't even close. But Merstash, Queasy, Swizzy, they're just not able to close the gap. And Merstash, he's lost too much HP. He's going to be forced to fall back.
This is it. This is the moment. Why wait till game 12? Marius, Pixie, and Vanya, they've given an opportunity here to take down first place and potentially take that spot. Few points separate them, and Swizzy's probably realizing their backs are up against the wall, maybe even second guessing this decision to go ahead and try to surprise attack them. But they have the low ground. Marius, Pixie, Vanya, they have the high ground, and since they do have that, they have the decision to hold and pressure them down below or rotate out like you see here.
No risk, no story though, and Marius a little bit split apart here. Merstash, Queasy, Swizzy, they're still chasing them all the way down to the bird to go. These guys are full on fighting inside of the storm. It's early zone tick, so they don't have to worry too heavily, but it's the storm sickness, Jacob. Both of these teams are delaying their own end game.
It's something that we saw come into play in that last game, the storm sickness, getting chunks of HP ripped off in the end game, but they're continuing to go. They want to chase this one down, but Pixie on the other side, he's the most elevated. Vanya, he's on the low ground trying to heal the best that he can, but so Pixie is making sure to defensively hold that high ground. Marius as well, Flowberry Fizz, just make sure to top off the shields. That way they can force him down further and further. They continuously are getting chased, but you say, you know what? You want to fight? Come get it.
They're throwing everything at this one. The inventory, all of the heals, they're disappearing. Marius is becoming fully aware that the investment is soon becoming not worth it. How aggressive they're gonna get. They're coming right box to box, wall to wall right now.
But think about the biggest differences here. Queasy's team, they're not actually carrying shotguns. All they have is the Wrecker revolvers in comparison to Marius, who's rocking both, but it's a gray Sentinel at best. And that Wrecker revolver just not able to get close enough. Pixie, Vanya, Marius essentially at a standstill right now with Queasy.
They have the majority of the heals. You already see the slurp juice in the inventory, med kits being used. essentially almost 200 HP and shields combined between these two, so they do have a little bit more of an upper hand. And I think Marius knows they're running out of HP resources to keep this fight going longer, so they are definitely now officially on the clock this deep in the zone, and it's only the 4th one overall. Merstash and them still have splashes underneath. Vanya's dropping, almost gets boxed up. Merstash has his head on a swivel, continuously turning around, but Taco talked about the double pump, and there it is in action. Marius is able to get the knock onto 1, but he gets dropped to 30 HP. They desperately need the siphon, but oh no! Disaster strikes! Pixie is now the last one alive! Merstash and Swizzy, they lose Queasy, but it's only a knock. He's quickly going for the revive. A miracle in the making as Pixie falls!
They got all 3! That's all that they needed! The space has been created, but now they have to capitalize on it. It's one thing to take them out, it's another to keep building on the lead overall. Queasy, Merstash, and Swizzy, this game has just begun.
Insane scenes here. And right next to them, Queasy, Merstash, Swizzy, all trying to get this elevation differential for this next zone.
But just above them on the other side of this mountain face, Kanata, Rapid, Bolts, they see the crash pad. Merstash, he's been clipped. Merstash is brought down. Swizzy also incredibly low. They're going to be forced to drop all the way down. That height security that they were once hoping for has been completely lost here. Queasy, the healthiest member of his team, but he's got nobody next to him. He can't get close to Swizzy.
And that's that investment. What goes around comes around. If you want to sit and storm and fight between 1st and 2nd place, you want that one to be drawn out. You want to invest everything you have into it. Once you realize that you got to make one of these rotations all the way up the mountain, all of these aimers kind of paying attention to you, you realize quickly you don't have what it takes to survive in this lobby.
Oh my, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. They talked about them being out. And now 5th place has just lost their IGL and Rapid, and it's Queasy and Swizzy that are doing the majority of that damage as they try to make their way into the zone.
But Queasy can't get down. He has no mats. They were all on Swizzy and Merstash. They hadn't had a chance to actually drop any of their materials. He does see a crash pad. He's trying to bring Swizzy up with him. And now Swizzy manages to connect. What a brilliant play from Queasy. Most players would have probably taken that for themselves, but he said, nah, you're coming back up here with me.
That's just a shine. That's just a glimpse. That is 7,000 IQ and the selfless plays, and why we call him one of the greatest IGL. Nah, forget that. That's why we call him one of the greatest Fortnite players in the history of the game, and he's looking to prove it. If he could just close out these last 2 games, even with the loss of our stats, there's still 1,100 damage above the threshold as they land a couple more shots. Now 1,200 and continuously rolling.
But this is a really healthy trio. Cooper, Curly, Reed. I don't know that that's what Queasy's really looking to chase up. He's not trying to bark up the wrong tree here after all. They've got to be a little bit more reserved here, Vivid. They don't want to overextend their welcome.
I mean, they're in the mix of things right now. They've gotten a couple of shots on a couple of trios right there. Maybe they can make something happen. As I say that, Queasy actually gets knocked. Now it's going to be all left to Swizzy. Swizzy gets knocked down. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, all out of the competition.
Follow me, okay? Everyone
Yeah,
have OXRs, right?
Yeah.
Okay, follow me. We're gonna try something. But again, Fizz. Don't go in render of Canada, okay? Yeah. No render of Canada. Go this way. Last one, right now. 30 already? 30, 60. 50, 30. Search right. Crash. They probably don't have that much rights, by the way. We probably have more. We can play white. Yeah. Yeah, taking out back. I shot, careful. Yeah. Took my roof. I'm dead, probably. I think I'm about to. I'm out. Okay. I'm dead. Okay. I got it. Okay. Launch me, dead. Nice. I got my finish. Nice. I got my finish. Play slow. 100. Nice! Let's go bunker. Can we go bunker, you think?
The crazy thing about this moment, right? Just think about it. If we were to do this again, right? Even though they didn't get a victory royale, even though they didn't get top 5, they didn't get all this stuff, they delay Vanya. They go on, they slow things down. If we do this again, Mini Miner, imagine even if Queasy goes down, you're gonna put Vanya in the same exact position to be in shambles for the remainder of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, but Vanya's team now maybe know that's coming, right? They could prepare for Queasy's team to do that and maybe change up their strategy, because if Vanya take out Queasy, that could be a very, very interesting end game, because like I mentioned, these guys don't miss a beat when it comes to the end game. So they're gonna have a good game. So I don't know what's gonna happen.
Can't believe this is it, the final game. We're gonna find out who's gonna be coming out on top, who's gonna be the 2025 global champion. And for it to come down to mate on mate hate, listen, I think the audience, although it's a bittersweet moment, they love to see their top teams in the top 2 spots.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you're an MA fan, you're happy, right? You're like, hey, one of our MA players are going to go on to be global champions, right? So exciting to see, but how does that last game end, right? Do we just take it to the off spawn again? Do we change things up? Do we play conservative? So many questions. In that
Leon! The finish line is approaching once more, but who will cross it first? The world has heard your noise all weekend long, but you must be louder than you have ever been before. This game is where errors come to an end and new ones are born. This is the last chance to forge legacies. This is where champions are crowned. So Leon, I've got 3 words for you. Are you ready?
It's all come down to this. Jacob, the final battle bus of the weekend is upon us. Legacies will be forged here. Levin's already called it out. I know that there's so much action that's taking place with some of these off-spawn contests, but there's only 2 teams that everybody wants to see right now. And that's Queasy, Swizzy, and Merstash. Vanya Boo Boo, Pixie, where are they at? Will they clash yet again?
Not too soon. Business as usual on the north side of the map, with almost a 50-plus point lead for Queasy, Swizzy, and Merstash. Nothing changes for them. They don't even need to necessarily win this game. They just need to continue to outscore Pixie, Marius, and Vanya, who are also uncontested at the OXR HQ. And the most insane thing about this all is it was Queasy in that last game that ended Marius, Vanya, and Pixie's run. They not only pushed over to their side of the map, they chased them down and sent them back to the lobby. 6 points, just shy of getting into another big money spot of the top 3. Swizzy, Merstash, Queasy, even with the zone pulling so far towards the south, they know it's very, very important for them to get their Storm Surge first, and then they throw one of those upgraded launch pads down, they hit the Flowberry Fizz, and they cover over 1,000 meters quickly, but looking to run him down. They do have a chance, though. We saw Cold, we saw Ritual go back to Dystopia. Does he go and see Swizzy, Merstash, and Queasy yet again, accessing the bunker. Not too far away from the hive, just outside of Ranger's Ruin and Foxy Floodgates. And they now have the Mythic. They have the Medallion. They have the Exotic.
Position, you start to see the lights, you start to think that could be us, our name. The crowd is chanting, but the same case scenario for Vanya as well. They're still looking to try and overtake first place. And if Merstash, Swizzy, and Queasy get lobby focused, that could be the ultimate difference maker. But instead, Swizzy fires back. time.
And that's 4 more points for them, inching themselves closer and closer to it being mathematically impossible for anybody to catch up. But again, no placement points just yet. That can truly shake things up, especially since they have a max pull across the map and a few teams trying to make and mirror that same rotation. First comes the crash pad, then the Flowberry Fizz, and they can continue that rotation until they make the zone. But Taco, more than half of this zone is over open water.
Not only that, but Swizzy, Queasy, and Merstache, they are white line crash padding straight towards the next zone. The fact that nobody has taken a shot at them along the way, it's a bold maneuver, but it pans out heavily in their favor, and they're continuing to scale their way down. We saw Ritual get eliminated yet again.
That just goes to show how active this lobby actually is, but they continue to steamroll. Merstache, Swizzy, and Queasy find their 3rd elimination of the game, taking down NA West.
And you know that Vanya, Pixie, and Marius, they can see it all in the elimination feed. 3 additional elims for Swizzy, Merstache, and Queasy. They have so much ground to cover just from placement points alone, and the elims are doing them no favors whatsoever. But Merstache, Swizzy, it's like Queasy told them, just be off the leash, do whatever you want, just find those eliminations.
Up there it goes, School. Trying to drop down low. He's the first one to get knocked. Sauco followed in that trend. He was trying to be a hero, but ends up a 0, leaving Arc all by himself. That's a ton of... And the time is truly running out. They have to make sure Queasy, Merstache, and Swizzy somehow go down outside of the top 8 as they continue to move through. It's becoming more and more impossible. There's 600 plus damage above the threshold. They're looking down to the backside of zone, trying to figure out where the weakness is for any of these trios trying to rotate in. Even with Kanata down below, they're lurking, no visual audios. But if you look at the sky, that's Marius, Vanya, and Pixie. But they lose Vanya throughout this mix. They're on that middle ground where all the chaos ensues.
Vanya just barely managing to start to get his life back up to a healthy level. Swizzy, Merstache, Queasy though, they see the high ground. They're starting to go for the chop. Malabuka gonna be forced to drop eventually, but can Malabuka even get down in the first place? I don't think so. He's a victim of the lobby now. Swizzy, Queasy, they don't hesitate. They're immediately surging upwards. They know height domination is where the thrill will be tested.
On the high ground right now, they're getting challenged, but they're fighting for it all. It's Pixie, it's Marius, and Vanya. If they want the win, this is the moment right here. Swizzy goes down. Merstache has fallen. It is all up to Queasy and Taco. There are more than enough points still left on the board for them to overtake the first place spot, but they have to survive. Vanya goes down. Marius is gonna have to pop that slurp juice and reunite with Pixie.
But where's Queasy? Pixie and Marius, they're so incredibly low. They're not gonna be able to save Vanya. They'll at least get everything that he had to offer at the final moments. But Marius, Pixie, as a duo, they've got to find Queasy. They don't know where he's gone off to. Seti in the low ground. If Marius and Pixie aren't careful, they might run smack dab into the center of where all the congestion is building at. But they're crash padding up. They're trying to get back on the height. They know what is in front of them, and they want to take it by force.
They already have second place locked in. It's all or nothing. Down goes PH, but no! Marius is now down as well. Pixie with the pressure on his shoulders. You got to remember though, Queasy is down. They are 50 points shy. He needs to win, but he gets denied. Merstache, Queasy, and Swizzy have done it.
It was the final moment. It was going to be so bittersweet, no matter the outcome for the gentle mates here, Jacob. But Queasy has finally overcome. The GOAT debate has been settled. He is the GOAT of Fortnite when it comes to IGLing and as a player in general. And he's got 2 GOATs with him. It's Swizzy and Merstache. What an impossibly crazy finish. Nobody could have possibly anticipated that it would all come down to this final match. In day 1, we saw Queasy, Swizzy, and Merstache leading the charge. They had such a monumental lead over the entirety of the lobby, but it still all came down to the wire. They knew it was a marathon from the get-go, but they sprinted across the finish line to claim the title as your 2025 Global Champions.
a year-long journey just to get to this point. 12 games, almost 700 points, 3 victory royales. They have done it.
It almost seems as if it hasn't even fully keyed in yet. Mustache and Swizzy, they're letting everyone here in Leon know. It's Gentlemates, it's Twisted Queasy bringing home the title. Fellas, lift that trophy high!
Aujourd'hui et pour l'éternité, vos champions, Queasy, Mustache and Sweezy!
Mustache, you have been to so many of these global events. You've never placed inside the top 10. How does it feel to be a global champion?
It feels nice. I can't believe it. Still, like, we've been playing this year. We played so bad every Grands. We should have won every Grands, but now this is the day when we won.
You might not have won an FNCS major final in 2025, but that doesn't matter right now. You are the best team in the world. Queasy, you are the greatest IGL Fortnite has ever seen. Can you believe it?
I mean, after today's performance, I don't know about that, but I mean, we pulled through, we got it, so that's all that matters.
Well, talk to me about today. Yesterday, we were all saying this trophy was surely yours. But this morning, those first 3 games, they didn't go your way. Did you think you were going to have to settle for second place again?
No, I was playing only for first. That's why we did what we did at the game 11, and I mean, shout out to them, because we went into this like thinking like 99% we're gonna win, and it pushed it to the last game. So shout out to Primq trio. Like, I don't even know, they did amazing.
For the future.
Guys, I have to ask, what makes this a world-beating team?
Them too, just fragging ability. I mean, they solo clutched the game 11 with 2v3. I don't know. I try to do my best. Today, I feel like I underperformed by a lot, but they pulled through and they got me the win.
Well, you're not going to think about that anymore because you guys have a trophy to lift. Guys, please take your position. To Le Mans, please, one more time, give it up for your 2025 Fortnite Global Champions. It's Queasy, Swizzy, and Mustache!
I cannot believe it. In this moment, your global champions, Queasy, Swizzy, Mustache, taking it all the way to game number 12. To think, Kelly, at the beginning of this year, this trio formed, and we thought, what the heck are you talking about? This sounds like a high-caliber trio. To qualify, to bring it here, to push everyone else on land to their very limits, and now to walk away. Global champions. Guys, how does it feel? Swizzy, I want to start with you, bro. Anytime that you guys have performed well and the camera's been on you, you feel like a guy who wears his heart on his sleeve. Those emotions flood through you, smile big. How does this moment feel right now?
It's so amazing. I think I did the most mentality in our team. Like, I saw their face our first game, and they say like, guys, lock in.
Lock in. Dude, and you said yourself, right, the fact that past times you've not been able to play with your actual teammates. The moment you get to play with your actual trio, you win the global championship.
Yeah.
Queasy, going all the way back to the Invitational, so close to claiming that first place spot, but you walk away in second. Last year, this same situation happens, and finally, you claim your rightful spot as a global champion. What has that journey been like starting all the way back in 2022?
I don't even know. I mean, from Invitational, literally like before Game 12, I said, guys, please, let's not make it the same thing again. And I mean, we did it finally, so it's a crazy feeling.
Merstash, brother, I mean, you've been hearing it for 2 days now. They see you on screen, this crowd goes crazy. Did that push you forward? Did that make you more nervous in any way?
Not gonna lie, I want to say thanks to everyone who came here, who supported us, and because it meant so much for us, I think it gave me confidence, at least in first day. So yeah, I want to thank to everyone who came here and supported us.
All right, we got to talk about essentially the winning moment for you guys in Game 11. I want to know what was going through the comms, whose idea was it, and how were you able to execute it?
Basically, half break, we went to VOD review, we watched zones, we were figuring out, because day one, our game plan was to get medal in bunkers. Day two, the bunkers were gone. 2 of the games we ran for it, they got taken before we could get there and kind of messed up our game. And after I watched the VODs, we were supposed to go Foxy, but I said if it pulls the same, I saw Vanya tanking like Medmiss and Storm and then padding, so I try to like go towards him and wait for him to pad and kill him out the air. That was the plan, but yeah.
I mean, obviously it worked out in your favor going for second place right there. Queasy, that is why you are regarded as one of the best IGLs in the world.
I mean, and look, Queasy, I don't know why you're down on yourself right now. I mean, Swizzy Merstash, this guy's been your IGL, and he's not giving himself the props that he rightfully has earned. I saw you walk up to that trophy and shed a tear. I saw you smile big when you lifted it. Brother, you're a global champion, and not only that, you've got EU their first global championship title right here, right now. Leon, make some noise for Swizzy, Queasy, Merstash! Forever in history, you guys have made a moment in Fortnite. Thank you guys so much. We're gonna let you guys go. Take this trophy, get out of here, go celebrate global champions. Congratulations again. You can leave your headsets here. Get out of here, guys.